Happy Friday, Audra. It's Friday Wins Live,
Happy Friday, Molly, and happy Blue Moon weekend.
right? I didn't even know what that was, but apparently it's the second full moon in a month is rare and special.
Yeah, and apparently it only happens every 5 or 6 years, and there's lots of celebrations going on this weekend. You're having a celebration. I'm going to a celebration. So if you are celebrating the blue moon, congratulations on you and have a good time.
Yeah, it's all about like new beginnings and shedding that which does not serve us.
Yeah.
So I'm,
So,
I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, if you're all doing that, enjoy. And whatever comes, I hope that it goes your way.
Yeah. We have an incredible list, Audra. Okay, just really quickly, we should explain to people what we are doing every Friday. Today we start a little bit later because we had a small conflict, but usually it's 12 Eastern. Today, 1 Eastern. But every Friday we show up here and we go over a list that we've compiled of amazing women in financial services who are out there doing incredible things. So, we're talking about new roles, promotions, product launches, podcast appearances, keynotes given, these types of things. And the idea is, well, it has a lot of benefits. One of them is it puts a spotlight on the amazing women who are leading in financial services. It also gives all of you out here on LinkedIn an opportunity to reach out, connect, congratulate them. It's a great excuse to build connections with powerful women in our industry. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, we're kind of sneaky and brilliant that way.
And guess what we have today?
Oh, we have a guest.
We have a
We
guest.
Yes, and I can't wait to introduce you to her because she is a very dear friend of mine that when we were introduced to each other, we felt instantly into, oh, we adore each other and have been fast friends ever since. So I can't wait to introduce you to her. But first, we'll get to the list and then we'll bring her on. So
Yes, and happy Friday, Jill Johnson.
happy
Good to
Friday,
see
Jill.
you.
Thanks for being here, Jill. We really
Mhm.
appreciate you being here with us. So we've got lots to get to. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, because the list is long today, which
Yep.
we are excited about. So I get new roles today. I get new roles and promotions. So we're gonna start it off with a bang. So congratulations to Onity Group. You have just named your new director of commercial special service servicing to Alayna Gardner. So you snagged an amazing and extraordinary individual. So congratulations to Elaine. And to Lending, you have just named your new Chief Credit Officer in Pamela J. Sullivan. And to ActiveComply, you have
What happened to Audra? I can't hear her. We can't hear her. You want me to finish this list? Okay. ActiveComply just snagged a new SVP of sales in Michelle Kemper. So congrats to the folks at ActiveComply. Also, congrats to Supply Wisdom. They just got a new head of customer experience. It's making a lot of noise on LinkedIn. I do not know her, but I'm going to try. Her name is Maya Calabrese. Maya Calabrese, she's the new head of customer experience at Supply Wisdom. So, congrats to them. Congrats to Informative Research. They just promoted Caitlin Cipriani. They promoted Caitlin to Director of Sales Support. So, congrats to Informative Research and having that rock star. Congrats to West Capital Lending. West Capital Lending just added SVP of Operations in Deborah Wilson. So, congrats to West Capital Lending. Deborah Wilson is a rock star. You got a good one. Up next is congrats to Ross Mortgage. Ross Mortgage They just added VP of Operations, Amy Fisher Dunn. So congrats to Ross. And then finally, congrats to Gulf Winds Credit Union. They added a new director of mortgage lending in Melissa Olson. So that's like that's 8 companies out there making moves, hiring women leaders in financial services. So it's awesome to see that kind of momentum and that kind of movement. Are you?
Is my audio back?
Yeah.
Stuff happens. It's live. We
Yeah.
roll with it. So congratulations. Thank you for jumping in. And just to those extraordinary women, we are so very proud of you. And we can't wait to introduce ourselves to all of you. For those of us that we don't know, and there's a good amount of women that I don't know, and I can't wait to meet all of you. So congratulations, and everybody, go introduce yourselves.
Yeah. It's kind of a cool story about Alayna Cardone. She was actually featured in the file. That's our Athena's Council like directory of vetted experts who are open to the right conversations. And I think we had her in there for about 24 hours and then had to yank her out because somebody snagged her. So congrats to Onity Group for doing it. So cool story.
Very
Okay.
cool story.
Other wins this week, there's some really cool things going on. First up, Alayna Gardner. She has an interview up on her LinkedIn profile with Amanda Pad. Amanda is the Chief Revenue Officer of, I think it's called Active Insight. Oh, I should have known this ahead of time. I'm going to get it right, so let me check it. Hold on. Amanda Pad is the CRO at Secure Insight. So they are all over the industry. They attend and speak at conferences all the time. So that interview, I haven't listened to it yet, but the interview between those 2 leaders should be really interesting. And I'll post the link in the comments. Also, congrats to Heidi Belnay. She actually did a live event just last night for Women with Vision. She announced the 2026 Women with Vision Awards. And guess what? I have the link to all the winners and I will post it in the comments. Use this the same way that we did last week, all the winners of the Women Leading in Innovation. Here you have a list of 20 amazing, badass, accomplished women that you can go and connect with. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, as they say. And we're proud of you, Heidi, for getting to be the one that announces all the winners. That's a cool thing. So congrats, Heidi, and congrats to all the winners. And then also one of our Athena's Council members, Jamie Lasher. She's also in the file. She was on Rick's Room. That's Rick Grant's podcast. It just came out 2 days ago. I'll drop the episode link in the comments. If if you do not know Jamie, go listen to this. It is really interesting what she does. She has a special certification. It's called Story Brand. And her offering, I think, is right on time. People in our industry who need to get like their personal brand just right. Whether you are a loan officer looking to really connect with your market, or you're in leadership in financial services and you need to elevate your brand, she's got a really cool offer. You spend 30 minutes with her and you get back a ton of assets so that you're ready to go and you don't have to second guess what you're posting. So anyway, listen to that podcast interview. She's also in the file, and I'll drop a link to both in the comments of this show. So congrats to Jamie Lasher. That podcast appearance is really cool, and she's a really awesome, cool person. Also, congrats to Liz Short. She's got 2 brand new offerings that she sent to me, and I think they'd be really interesting. One of them, especially, so you want a podcast, right? But you don't know how to do it, and you don't want to go out there to the industry looking like half baked.
Yeah.
The reason I'm laughing at that is because like Exhibit A, what we've got going on, super casual. If you want to be polished and well lit and have excellent sound and sound like a true professional, she's going to set that up for you. So I'll drop a link to her profile below. If you want to have a podcast and you want to do it right, contact Liz.
Not have your sound go off in the middle of it. You know,
Yeah.
she might be able to help you.
Yeah. Okay. And then a LinkedIn post really caught my eye this week. Meghan Handy, I'm dropping a link to this post. She's the Chief Marketing and Customer Officer at Embrace Home Loans. I'm not going to read the whole post. I'm just going to read the top 2 sentences. If this resonates with you, go show up for Meg in the comments. She posted yesterday, the corporate calendar was built by people who had someone at home handling everything else. The laundry, the doctor's appointments, the kid who forgot his lunch, the grocery run. She goes on to talk about women leaving the workforce, leaving the financial services industry, and the top reason being caregiving obligations. It's a really interesting conversation. We could talk about that for hours, but I just want to bring it to everybody's attention today because that's a talk worth having. Okay.
It was an interesting post. It raised a lot of interesting comments, and we'd like to continue the conversation.
Yeah.
We thought that we would ask for your comments, and maybe we can bring Meg on. You never know.
Yeah. You know something's on fire when you get a bunch of texts that say, did you see Meg Handy's post?
So
go look at it.
So we just thought we would bring that to your attention and just get some feedback.
Yeah.
See what would happen.
Okay.
All right.
So congrats to everybody. An amazing week. Thank you for showing up, showing how it's done, being an example. Like Audra and I say all the time, like if you can see it, you can be it. And sharing these examples with you all every Friday is really meaningful to us. So thanks for being here and thanks for doing amazing things so we get to talk about them.
Yeah, it's our favorite thing to do every single week. So thank you for allowing us to continue to doing our favorite thing. So now we're going to bring on our guest.
Are you ready to stir something up, Audra?
Yeah. Always. So our guest is a very dear friend of mine. She is not only a very accomplished professional in financial services, but she is also a 2-time published author. And she is a wealth of knowledge. She has been in, oh my gosh, the roles that she has held in leadership are extraordinary. And it would probably take me the next half hour to tell you what she has done. I will just bring her on so you can all get to meet her. It is my pleasure to introduce all of you to my very dear friend, Laura K. Sheely. So please bring her on.
Hi, Laura.
Hey, gals. So good to see you again.
It's awesome to see you.
So, all right, okay. The floor is yours.
All right, I'm fired up this week.
Me too.
And honestly, this not just this week. This is a pattern that I've been noticing for really probably the last year. And that is, why are we not calling people back? Why are we ghosting people on emails? We are just not giving enough attention as leaders, as executives, to these inquiries that are coming on. I hear this all over the landscape of people that are looking for jobs, are looking for different tech providers, looking for different resources, that they put multiple calls in. I put multiple calls in, and you just don't even get a response. And it hit me last week when, we're stomping around New York secondary. You're seeing all your friends on the sidewalk. You've got X number of followers on LinkedIn. You're chatting with these people via typing. But when you see them sweating through their clothes on the corner of Times Square, are we actually even having a conversation? It's weird. It's become this environment where we're all connected virtually, but we're not connecting verbally. And so this is what I want to chat about this week. I want to share some stats. I want to hear what you guys are thinking, see if you're seeing the same thing, and try to just stop this wave of letting AI and all of these other communication generators really connect on our behalves. There are times when that works and it's efficient, but at the very least, can we call people back?
Yeah, I totally agree with you, because I had something really interesting happen to me this week that's along this line of trying to connect with potential clients. And I had shared this with Molly, is that I had been connecting with the client that I'd actually been engaging with face to face, but was chasing through email and that wasn't being very successful at. I actually dialed the phone to connect, and the individual answered and was surprised that that thing rang, and was so surprised, answered the individual answered the phone. It was like, oh, that thing works, it has a sound, and was just shocked and answered the phone and was kind of surprised. And so I tell you this is because there's I think that we've become dependent on electronic communication, that now there is an awkwardness in verbal communication, that we have forgotten on how to communicate face to face, just verbally on the phone, that we've now just become weird teenagers again. I don't know, just my thought.
I totally agree. And I also think it's somewhat generational. I used to say if I would call my son for dinner, I'd be standing in the dining room. I could holler down the stairs, no answer. I could text him, no answer. I would call him, no answer, knowing he's in his bedroom downstairs. And maybe Snapchat would get through just to say the lasagna's ready, right? So that used to be an understanding that I had, where younger generation definitely doesn't prefer talking as much, but now I'm seeing it across all age groups. And what's interesting to me is I see it in even attempts that you make for someone. You need them to buy something, meaning I reach out to a vendor and I say, hey, can you call me back? I'd really like to buy your piece of tech or your piece of this. Hey, here's my email inquiry. Hey, here now I've inquired on your website. Hey, like, it's really shocking to me as a 25-year plus sales leader. I mean, in the beginning of our careers, you were like dead in the water if you got the reputation of not calling people back.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And now it's kind of a regular practice. It's like we just set people aside. And so that's, as I've been thinking more about this week, I've really kind of dug into a little bit of research, and it's been really eye-opening. The callback stats have gone now to 1%. That's 1 out of every 100 calls or voicemails that are left, people actually return. Yeah. And I know that that's compounded by the idea that we get so much junk on our phones. We now have unknown numbers calling, it's spam, it's this. But when you are a known contact to someone, right, and you're still not getting the call back, now it tells me, without trying to get into, do they just not like me, right? I don't think that's the case. I think we're all overwhelmed. The other stat that I found really interesting was it now takes 18 attempts in connection to get that engagement started. It used to be the rule of 6 or 7, right? 18 attempts. And so this is becoming a little bit of an epidemic, I think, not just in our industry, but just in businesses across the entire landscape. Because the reality is that if I make a call to you, or a recruit makes a call to you, or somebody who wants your services make a call to you, and you don't call them back, number one, as a human, it says I don't respect you. As a business professional, it tells me you may not be reliable to me. If I can't get the first call in, will you call me when I have a problem? Will you call me when we've got to solve a business issue? So I also think we have to consider, as the people receiving the calls, what kind of message is it sending? And I know for myself, it really shifted me in shape this week. I was like, okay, what vendors am I blowing off? What people have I blown off in the last month that really needed me to answer something? Even if the answer was just, I've got it, I received you, it's not right now though, it's an answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, Audra, I had a similar experience this week where I had to call someone about a referral for someone else. And, I could throw that in an email, but I deliberately picked up the phone. And she said, oh my gosh, just hearing your voice reminds me of the dinner we had a few weeks ago and how delightful that was. And the engagement was so positive for both of us because we actually got connection out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just, like I said, I reached out to you guys this week. I said, we got to chat about this because this is having real impact across our business. And people are starting to feel like they're not heard, they're not seen, that they're not relevant. And, whether it be a job inquiry or anything else that we just have to connect on, we are way out of sync, I think, in our communication patterns right now.
I think we have a connection epidemic.
I agree. Okay, Jill Johnson, she left us a comment. She says, at times I think people are hesitant to pick up the phone if they don't know 100% what the topic is they're going to communicate about. If it's an email or text, you have like a buffer of time,
Mhm.
and then you don't have to deal with something like immediately. And
Right.
I understand that totally. And I was wondering, okay, so Laura Kay, you said this week you really got into shape and you took a look at like, okay, who have I been blowing off?
Mhm.
Because I have done this also. I have, and then, somebody, even like a friend who has called and left a voicemail, and then my life gets away from me, right? Or
Yes.
I get, oh, squirrel, I'm distracted over here. So when you did make that reach out, how do you handle that when you've been
Yeah.
unresponsive and it's time now to to do the right thing? How did you do that?
I think, first of all, I'll put it into two categories. The first being those people that, you put in the friend category, you really, they're a longer term connection for you, right? In those cases, I'm very honest. I'm like, the week got away from me. Audra knows this, that she'll call and I may not answer right away, but I'll text back and be like, do you need me right now? Right? Because that's saying like, girl, do we need to debrief? Do we need to talk you off the ledge? Or is this something we can catch up on tomorrow? Because I will prioritize that call if somebody really needs me in that moment. But mostly I'm honest, right? I've recently had some things, that I've had to deal with personally that's taken me out of the office. I'm honest about it. Hey, I've been out of pocket for a little bit. Just want to make sure you know that I've been thinking about you or whatever. The second category, though, is people who reach out you for business opportunities, vendors, right? People that reach out to you for different business solutions, that kind of thing. I'm really trying to be a lot more honest in those engagements as well. Like, I see you, I hear you, I value what you're trying to pitch me or the product that we could work together on. But here's the reality of our timeline, right? Because we are in a startup engagement or we are working on other projects, right? And so, but I think acknowledging that, again, I see you, I hear you, and the timing might not be right now, but at least I am making the connection back. And then if you're somebody that just continues to relentlessly pursue me in kind of an annoying way, right? Because we all get that. I think there's a way to say, I see you, I hear you. It would be best for you to follow up at this point, right? But because it still acknowledges them. And this is such a small industry, right? And you never know who your colleagues are going to
That's it.
be or who you're going to be working with next. And so I just really feel strongly that you've got to keep it warm. You don't have to buy something today, but you might need to learn something from them in a month when, the tech cycle changes or something headline changes the tone of what you're working on. And so you don't want to burn those bridges.
100%. I have been in that situation before where I ignored a vendor, like, oh, I don't need that. I don't need that. Don't need that. Oh, I need that right now.
ASAP. That's
Like,
right.
yeah.
Yes. Well, and then the next part of this that I think is just so critical right now, especially in this forum, is the idea that recruiting, right? Talking about jobs, inquiring about jobs. This is becoming an epidemic where, hundreds of resumes are coming in and they're all created by AI and some of them get filtered out and you never talk to anyone. And my question as a leader is, how are you really able to identify if that candidate's going to match with your culture in terms of their leadership values, their communication styles, and all those things that you get out of a conversation if you're weeding them out before you ever really talk to them and only go by what's on the paper? I mean, I can create a resume right now for just about any job and show you that I'm qualified the way AI will put it together. But by the time you get me on the phone, you're going to learn who I really am and how I really would work within your organization. And I just feel like right now, those calls are not happening. It's falling on deaf ears.
I'm worried about that because in Athena's Council, one of the projects that have undertaken is we are building a database of active recruiters in our industry. And in building that database, we are vetting. Do they call back? Do they respond in email? Do they respond on LinkedIn? And so far, it is a bleak environment. So I'm continuing, but it's kind of like your call stats that you were citing before. Out of every 100, there's one diamond in there, and that's I have never done this type of research before on recruiting.
Yes.
And they have a bad, rap and all this. And I thought, I can see that kind of pipeline is broken because of the lack of connection that you're talking about, the calling, follow-up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll take this in the level of, just business partnerships. I did a recent experiment for myself. I had 40, what I would consider are my warmest contacts in my sphere. Like, these are people that I've grown up with in the mortgage business. I've had multiple roles. They've had multiple roles. We've collaborated on things that we need throughout our careers. 40 of them. I did a email first. Hey, I'm working on a project. As you know, I really value your insight. Can you find a little bit of time that we can have a chat or meet for coffee or lunch or whatever in the next 2 weeks? Zero response. I took that same list a week later, phone calls. Just started dialing. They hear my voice, 50%. So to me, it was a reminder of, we need these relationships. We need to be reminded that, when I call Molly, she has that little bit of an accent and she's always got the smile, right?
And hey, what's up?
In the background, I can check in on the kids, right? All the real life stuff is going on in the background of that call, and it's a human to human connection. And so I'm concerned that, as we get more to this and this, are we losing that connection? And how can we make a real effort around making sure we're calling and talking to each other, whether it be on the phone or in person?
No. Well, ladies, I'm sorry. Speaking of human connection, I have to go make a human connection, but I'm going to leave you guys to continue. But duty calls.
Perfect.
So I will see you all next Friday. But you guys keep
adios,
talking.
amiga.
See you all next Friday.
Bye.
Bye, Audra.
Yeah, I think Audra is right about this connection, this lack of connection. I think it's everywhere, not just in our industry and not just in work. I think
Yes.
it's,
Yeah. Yeah. I think if we all make a goal just for this next week, it's every time you go to type or text, ask yourself, could I call this person and it'd be more meaningful?
and okay, I'm going to add one other challenge to that. The responses that you gave to us here, like if a vendor is contacting you, if an old colleague is contacting you and wants to know if you have a new position for them, the answer may be no, not right now, but just give
Exactly.
that acknowledgement.
Yes.
Build that connection, because the industry is so small, to your point, and because, like, human beings trying to get by, doing the best we can. Are we helping or are we hurting? That's the thing.
Right.
That's the question I ask little kids, when they're
Yes.
trying to get along. Let's help.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. This has been so great.
Thank you, Laura. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
I'll see you soon.
All right.
Call me.
I'll be calling you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.